Ayashimon is a mixture of One Punch Man and Juju Kaisen for me. Ayashimon is the next One Punch Man series from Shonen Jump that needs the support to actually reach its full potential. So Yuki Kaku previously worked as an assistant for Tatsuki Fujimoto, who's the creator for Fire Punch and Chainsaw Man, and he was also working as an editor for Shueisha the entire time, and he's been working as a mangaka for like the past 12 years, and he's really gone unnoticed, which is kind of crazy. And he's gotten to make good series here and there, but none of them could really say that they've been given the main stage of Shonen Jump, or the mainstream success like some of his other colleagues, such as it's been Jujutsu Kaisen, or it's been, like I said, Chainsaw Man, for example, Demon Slayer. And it feels like some of his work was maybe a little bit before its time and didn't hit the right wave to get into the main audience, like it should have. Like, over time, he developed extreme illustration styles that would definitely stand out and which would give him more popularity and attention. But it was also that type of illustration style that also isolated readers to making it hard to actually get into a series of his and hard to become a fan of him. The Remembrance Tax was his first actual work, and it was a one-shot manga, which got the 14th place at Jump's Newcomer Cartoon Awards. He then got to work on Phantasma, his first actual manga series, but it ended with 11 chapters. When I first look at the series, it has a heavy inspiration from his former boss's series, that being Chainsaw Man. And after looking at some covers and illustrations, it's just hard not to really point to his work. He then made a one-shot called Jailbreak Princess. I think this was like his attempt at getting a female audience, but it honestly just ended before it even started, and it did not take off. But his second full manga was the most successful manga to date for him, being the one that was ahead of its time in Hell's Paradise. I've read it and heard some of the actual comparisons made on it, and I heard a lot of its similarities from both Chainsaw Man and Fire Punch. And while I can't speak too much directly to those series because I haven't finished them or even come close to finishing them in the slightest, I can say it feels close to Demon Slayer for me and Jujutsu Kaisen. Like, the pacing of it, the storytelling, the setting is closer to Demon Slayer being in like an ancient Japan setting, but the curse talk is closer to Jujutsu Kaisen as well. That's why I bring it up. It's the type of series that you won't be able to put down once you actually start it, and I don't mean that for a lot of mangas. I've read a decent amount of them in a couple years, and I gotta say, most of them just don't catch my attention, but Hell's Paradise is not one of those that don't catch my attention, for sure. And from reading the manga, the whole world is just vastly different and just bigger to me in general than both the mangas of Jujutsu Kaisen and Demon Slayer. Maybe you can make a more of an argument for Jujutsu Kaisen, but Demon Slayer, I don't think you really can. Both leads in Hell's Paradise feel like they have more depth to them, rather than the leads I get that kind of feel one-dimensional from other Shonen Jump leads. Luckily, Hell's Paradise is actually getting their TV anime pretty soon, and after other big names in anime actually vouch for his work, it's getting more recognition. And hopefully, while the series is going through its production phase, we can get more news on Ayashimon, because Ayashimon is also very good, and it's gotten more readers' attention, and hopefully his one-shot manga can get a fair shot at becoming a full manga. I feel like when it came to this video and writing it, Hell's Paradise just kind of ran away with the focus of the video because it was just that good. But Ayashimon can be just as good, if not better, in the mainstream audience's eyes. And as far as the actual like archetype of the characters, we've seen these types of characters in the previous era. To me, they're the standard of what shonen characters are, and it's the reason why you see these standard characters get portrayed over and over and over and over again. They just tend to work. They're the standard for a reason. But Ayashimon doesn't have that many chapters on them. They were first a one-shot, and right now they have currently 2 chapters out. But let me explain Ayashimon for you. So the manga follows a mixture between Toyko Revengers Yakuza style as the backdrop, mixed in with Chainsaw Man art style, with youkai and Ayashimon monsters in a mix. So basically imagine the Yakuza, but now they're all monsters, or a mixture of mainly monsters running Japan from the shadows, basically. To me, the main lead is a mixture of One Punch Man and Shinra from Fireforce. I'm not gonna go as far as to say that there's direct ripping off One Punch Man like some other like news outlet would probably be saying right now. Cause one, it's just not fair. They've only had 1 to 2 chapters to express what their character generally is about. And two, One Punch Man wasn't even the first series to do what he did, so I don't think it's really fair to just go off of that. So we can't completely just call them original as well. But the reason it's similar to me is like, the story is fast paced to show you just how much stronger our main lead is from everybody else. Like, his amount of strength is just humanly not possible to do. And it's shown in sometimes ridiculous ways, so I can understand people are like, yeah, One Punch Man, and his training arc also is pretty similar to Saitama, being kind of mundane, honestly, at times, but a little more hardcore, but still kind of mundane. But the difference is his harsh and abusive upbringing that was not highlighted in any aspect in One Punch Man, but is highlighted here, and he kind of just brushes past it pretty much. And the way he like kind of brushes past this and how the audience really doesn't talk about it after the first chapter is because his actual kid approach to it, his nature of it. We think it's fake. Him making it just seem like it's just like a manga hardship that every protagonist character has to deal with, but I believe that's pretty true that did happen to him. But if you're looking through all the panels, everything he's mentioned up to the point is true. None of it's been fake. So that hardship, his abusive past, is not fake. He just brushed past it. Like, the fact that his brain warps past the severity of the actual situation and just assumes it's just training and it's just another obstacle is just insane. But also a bit inspiring and, charming. But also very tragic and gives you another layer of depth to the character that, I'll be honest, a lot of shonen characters just don't have or don't express. Because, it's presented more for a younger audience. His design to me just reminds me a lot of Shinra from Fireforce. Whether it's just like his hair mixed in with like both his smiles. I don't know, the character just reminds me a lot of Shinra. As far as the goal, he just wants to fight and make a living from it. He's already been kicked out of school. He can't find a job because he's so ridiculously strong that he just kind of breaks everything. So he's just kind of sad looking for something to do. Which is funny enough, instantly when he's looking for a job leads him to be meeting his would-be boss. Her goal of this entire thing is just right now to become the next boss of the underworld. The next master, basically Yakuza. Basically the master Ayashimon, in a way. Don't quote me on that, that's just what I named it. What I liked about it was it was simple. It was a very simple one-shot that wasn't trying to do anything like spectacular or something unheard of for the start of the series. And it's easy to write it off and say it doesn't have a layer of depth to the main character, Maro Kaido. And for me personally, I do want my main lead to have actual depth to them. I want them to build over the course of the show, a fair bit before they become this super strong OP character on the inside and out, Like, down the line, that would definitely be a problem if, like, they run into the same situation One Punch Man is running into of he just one-shots them every single time and you're running out of funny things to go along with it. But I feel like after reading it, it's just undeniable that you do want more of it. You do want to know what happens next. I'm not even going to say like this is a fair thing to say. This is more of a fact. Hell's Paradise is the polished and complete story that will give Kuko into the door of Shonen Jump. The one that hopefully puts him on the same stage as his mentor and his fellow colleagues at the company. But Ayashimon isn't bad either. And it's also rising in popularity in the coming days in Japan and worldwide. Still, it's a one-shot made from Shonen Jump, so it's hard to say exactly if it's going to be continued because it's the most mainstream platform for shonen in the most cutthroat and hardest industry to get into, basically. For all we know, this one-shot could be done in the next week or so, with nothing to show for it. But I do just hope that it's given the chance to actually see what could be coming out of it. Now, if you made it this far into the video, do make sure to like the video and also subscribe to the channel, as well as tell me down what you think in the comment section. But I gotta go. Thanks for watching.